Left Lab.
What's going on? This is going to be a live stream that is going to piss a lot of people off, make a lot of people bow their heads and smile and smirk. And this will pretty much give a lot of pushback. I'm not sure as far as who will listen and take heed of this. As far as, I'm primarily addressing women because mainly what I've been seeing is a lot of women getting sent off. This is a chess philosophy, basically topic. This is something that basically I see being something sort of chess related, shall I say. Because the goal in chess, in case you didn't know, is to make your opponent lose. No, however means you can get there, hard or easy or fast or slow, as long as you can do it, that's the goal. That's the main motive to get your opponent to lose. So what I'm finding out over the internet spaces is women teaching other women to be graceful losers. I'll repeat that. What I find is a lot of women that have very, very huge followings and they come off as they're almost even elite women, meaning that they may have quite a bit of money, they've already made money, and they are teaching other women to be graceful losers because they themselves, let me tell you something. As a chess player, chess is basically very, very much like life. It is the closest thing to life than any other game that I can think of, other than you could talk about Risk. You could talk about the game of life if you ever played that, Monopoly. But chess is very, 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 very much the closest thing that I can think of to actually what actually a life is than anything that I can think of. Now, the reason that is because actually chess is basically war pieces. So in military and war, they have what is called a war room. In that war room, they have different uh terrains and different geographical locations, actually even adaptations of an actual battlefield. And all of these things, these are used to basically mimic war, or what the actual battlefield is. Okay, that is what basically a lot of times you will see as far as what is going on now versus what was going on thousands of years ago. Thousands of years ago wasn't really that elaborate. It was basically kingdoms against kingdoms. And that's why you have basically the game of chess, where you have these different pieces on the board that mimic two kingdoms fighting each other. So that is why I say that chess is very, very similar to actual life as we know it. One kingdom, queen, two bishops, two knights, two rooks, which is, I call them castles. That is what today is very much very similar to what you have today. Also, you have 8 pawns, and those pawns are used to position across the chessboard to move and be basically sacrificial lambs to slaughter as much as the other side of the chessboard, as well as to position with other pieces to strategize some type of setup or opening to increase the odds of a favorable win. So, where a lot of times I hear this is where women lose in today's society. They have a couple things going on. You got to look at the root of all of this, right? The root of all of this is um basically just how society is. Okay, I'm primarily embraced in the black community, right? So within the black community, others before them, like what I'm talking to is basically women that are between the ages of 25 to 45 years old. Those women were brought up by other women that basically fell for the banana in the tailpipe, i.e., feminism, um, different strategies and stuff like that, to basically help the black community separate, divide, and be conquered or stay conquered, basically, right? So those things have already worked and been implemented. It was, sacrificial slaughter on both sides, but basically those things are why you have the women that you have today speaking rhetoric to other women to be losers. And you don't really have to I don't really have to dive too deep into it. This is relatively light work, very, very light work, because basically um it's not much work that's needed because any moron can see what's going on. Okay. Any moron can see exactly what's going on. So this is going to be also short as well, somewhat. But the thing is that the reason why you have the women that you have today teaching this rhetoric is that they were kind of busted. Their household was busted up, where their mother was either divorced, she had a relationship where she was a single mom. So they raised these generations of single mothers. Also, the father was in the household, might have died from the crack epidemic, might have, separated from divorce, like I said, might have not even been in the household, because a lot of women, they did just basically kind of go on their own and choose their own um, man that they wanted to choose with. They didn't choose very wisely, and that resulted into them being a single mother and raising women and also men to be um, in that household. And that's very, very difficult to have a sustainable household when you grow up, when you didn't have a coalition of a father and mother in the household. Very, very difficult. That was one of the things that I learned in school when I was going to college to be a social worker. A lot of times, dysfunctional households are the product of dysfunctional households. Very, very hard to break away from that. You almost need lifetime therapy to even break away from that, or what I would call divine intervention, where you become like a lifelong church member or lifelong person that goes to any type of religious center or something like that, because you get very locked in your subconscious to become what you saw every day in and day out. You saw your mother, basically dropping you off somewhere, doing certain things, not having a father around, seeing other people that had a father around and wondering why that was strange. And you begin to normalize that as something that is normal. And that kind of jumps to basically the reason why women have normalized it to where it's almost like, it's not even almost, but it's like basically a bunch of abnormalism being taught to be normal to other people, that this is normal. So much so that you have women that actually um are making a lot of headway and a lot of money teaching other women to basically be single just like themselves, even though that they themselves are single and they don't have any man, they don't have any husband, and they have the money, they have the success, but no husband. And that is the gotcha moment right there. Because see, here's the thing. This is where this becomes an issue or a problem, right? When you get to upper class society, you are in the business world and everything like that, start to look really, really suspect. Anywhere outside of a community, basically the ghetto is normalized to be a single mom, single person, no ring, dysfunction. Where it becomes a gotcha moment or suspect is like basically when you get to upper society, where it's above middle class, I would just say. It starts to get where it's like, what's wrong with you? What is actually wrong with you, and why don't you have a husband? And you have all of these children, around you, or even any child around you. You don't have a where's your man? Basically, where's your husband at? You got, like, look at this, all of these galloping horses, they're coming at this king, right? This is a scene from I believe the Lord of the not Lord of the Rings, but this is a scene from Game of Thrones, I believe. Imagine a world where you're such a narcissist and such a delusional individual, where you think, being a woman, that you can stop all of these marauders coming at you, basically every single day, all day. You can't. And it be and I'm gonna definitely give you statistics, break down why um this is very, very dire. This is basically a call to action, for those that take heed. This is basically something that I will tell my daughters, that I'm trying to, basically reach to you. um this is a call of action, because I don't want you to be a loser. I wouldn't want a woman that basically is subscribed to me to be a loser, because then I'm gonna be, when I whatever happens to me in life, it'd be like, oh, this woman was listening to this loser, and now she's a loser. I don't come on here to make people losers. I come over here, I come on my all my content is for people to be winners. You know what I'm saying? So when I find the opportunity, and I scout the world and I scout society, and I see that it's a bunch of women teaching other women to be losers, it's an opportunity for me to basically counteract that. As a chess player, I'm always looking for counteraction. I'm always looking for a way, for an opening to counteract what I see. It's very, very simple. A lot of times I've already kind of said certain things, but I'm gonna lay things out to you. Basically, any woman that advises you on separation, let me put this in a banner, for the slow people. Because basically, um, there is a class divide right now, and it is widening. And a part of that class divide is basically, now it is upper class to be married now. Reason why it's upper class to be married is because basically marriage has become so difficult, because it's so many um people sending people off. And of course, people raised in households where their mother was single. So single people teach other people how to be single. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you. Now, I myself, I have been in the war. I have been married. I have lived in the I mean, not an upper class, but middle class community. I tried the marriage train, and I didn't choose wisely. I will admit that. I've talked about that various different times. But the thing is that you listen to the people, salute, that have never been married, sending you off every single day, and that is basically people teaching you how to be losers. Okay, teaching you how to be a loser. Notice, I didn't get divorced and say, "Hey, don't never get married again. Don't get married." No, marriage is now um basically a bougie concept because it's so many people that are having issues with it, and even people that are teaching others to basically be like them, be lonely lunatics, and just basically swim in money and career success. And Kevin Samuels exposed it. Kevin Samuels exposed that. He made a freaking $1 million+ exposing basically how much these women were delusional and losers and teaching other people to be losers. He literally made millions of dollars because of that, because it's just so many women that are doing this and have this uh, delusional narcissism that is basically embarrassing, and it's very entertaining to watch other people come on and explain their delusion. So, like this says, any woman that advises you on separation is basically sending you off to lose. Okay, there's another statistic that I have to open up along with these other statistics. After these statistics, these probably will scare you the fuck straight. You will be probably scared to fuck straight. You won't have no stone unturned as far as after this. You basically will you'll leave this content knowing absolutely that other women are sending you off. They probably, yeah, I don't know how widespread this is gonna get, but whoever gets it. But you basically gonna you're gonna fuel the fire of this contention of these consortium of women that's teaching other women to be sent to send them off to basically die alone and shit like that. So let me get something further to open up. This is something I've already said. I want to leave no stone unturned in this content here. Because like I said, I have daughters in this fight. I definitely have some dog in the fight. Let me get this last side. Bear with me. Because I mean, basically, this is a lot of women that's sent to slaughter every day because they're getting sent off by other women, and you know, whoever it's men too that send women off. I mean, life is already tough. If you getting sent off to be just, you know, to be cannon fodder, you know, or shark chum. I mean, at least you know what the hell is going on. You absolutely know what's going on today. Absolutely. I mean, you already know what's going on, but I'm gonna lay it to you. I'm gonna give you the facts. I'm gonna give you the statistics to you to digest. Might have to open up a previous live stream I've done because the statistic that I was trying to find was regarding violence. But let me see if I can find it. That's why I use my Facebook page so I can basically store information because basically yeah, here we go. This will work. This will work. This will work. Yeah, yeah. All right. So, all right. Basically, yeah. Any woman that advises you on separation is basically sending you the fuck off. Sending you off.
Message.
Okay. Basically, they're sending you off to a few other things as well. They're sending you off to poverty. Okay. I'm gonna talk about all of this. Okay. They're sending you off to have a hard life. All my life I had to fight.
400 still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day. You just sit here, you don't know what I'm talking about?
I mean, they basically sending you off to also be incarcerated because when you have a lack of money and resources and stuff like that, you have to do certain things, especially if you have children. You basically a lot of crimes are financially related. Crime is the cousin of poverty and also lack of jobs and education. Okay, replay that back in your head till you get it. So let me open up the first slide to basically show you why these women are sending you the fuck off. And when I mean by women, I'm talking about feminism also teaching you this rhetoric that you should be this single, you know, come back and just have as much fun as you want and you know, live your life and all that shit. So let's see, which one should I start with? Yeah, fuck it. Just go right to the fire. All right. Yeah, basically, in case you didn't know, this whole, you know, pull your bootstraps up and wear your jeans, be rugged, the rugged individualism of America is killing y'all. Literally, not just the BBLs, but literally the actual lifestyle of being a he she pants wearing um he man she man warrior is literally killing y'all. Okay, let me play this video right here Let me get some sound. Let's play this one.
1993, the U.S. Life. Time now for Morning Rounds with CBS News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. John LaPook and CBS News medical contributor Dr. Tara Narula. First up, life expectancy. A few days ago, the National Center for Health Statistics released a new report comparing the causes and patterns of death from 2015 and 2014. And for the most part, the news was not good. Life expectancy for the U.S. population as a whole actually fell from 78.9 years to 78.8. It's a very small decline, but it's a decline nonetheless. The first time since 1993 that U.S. life expectancy has fallen. The age-adjusted death rate also increased by 1.2%. Dr. LaPook, when it comes to the top causes of death, how does 2015 compare to 2014?
Well, not well. So the only one of the top 10 causes that actually went down in death rate was cancer, which went down slightly. Death from flu and pneumonia, that stayed stable. But of the others, they all increased slightly. So that's heart disease, cancer, we said did a little bit better, chronic lower respiratory diseases, unintentional injuries, that's overdoses and substance abuse deaths, falls on the elderly, things like that, stroke and Alzheimer's. And then finishing out the list of the top 10 are diabetes, influenza, pneumonia, which we said stayed the same, kidney disease, and suicide. So when you start to say you're cresting there, you have to start saying, what's going on here, and do we have to do something differently?
Tara, heart disease remains the leading cause. What factors play into that?
What's really sad, Anthony, is that it doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to watch our family members, our coworkers die of heart disease. The only two risk factors that we cannot change are age and family history. All of the other risk factors are modifiable. The battle against heart disease is going to come down to three things: education, telling people what are the risk factors, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, obesity; awareness, teaching people about signs and symptoms of heart disease so they can act early; and then prevention. We need to be screening people starting as early as age 20 for things like high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and really teaching people to modify these factors and have heart-healthy lifestyle from the time they're children, not when they're 40, 50, and 60 and getting a new diagnosis of coronary disease or having their heart attack.
What should the takeaway be for health professionals?
It's very much, listen to Tara. Prevention.
Always
listen to Tara.
Like
because
that.
When you think about it, we like to do stuff to people after they get sick. And prevention really is going to be the name of the game. If you look at the top things here, unintentional injuries, for example, overdoses and substance abuse deaths. Fentanyl went up dramatically. So we have obviously a narcotic epidemic, overuse, falls in the elderly. And then when you look at suicide, you have to start saying to yourself, mental health, how can we, it's so huge. How do we change the stigma that's attached to it so that people can come forward and say, they're having trouble? How do we increase preventive services and treatment services for people with mental illnesses? It's all wrapped up. And of course, with the fentanyl overdoses, narcotic overuse, we have to start teaching doctors, how to prescribe better and how to think about pain control in a better way.
That's right.
All right, next up, the distribution of diabetes. The CDC estimates that over 20 million people have the condition, where high blood sugar levels can lead to severe complications like
So this is an old video from this article is from 2017, but this is what basically this article is saying. That's just some like random video, I guess, but it's basically reads: American women may be making strides in shattering the glass ceiling of the executive office and making it clear that sexual harassment is not okay, but in one very significant, perhaps the most important aspects of their lives, they're falling short. According to a report by the Center for Retirement Research at Boston College, life expectancy for women in the U.S. has stalled, leaving American females at the bottom of the list of the wealthiest nations, while U.S. life expectancy is now the lowest among high-income nations. Discrepancy is especially stark for women, said the CRR. In 1960, American women, it always goes back to the 60s, Jim Crow segregation. Black women primarily were doing a lot better in fucking Jim Crow and segregation as far as like staying with their husband, all that stuff. Then everything after grandma got older and left to her daughter, which is the daughter of basically, like I said, going back to the age of 25 to 45. Well, the 45-year-old is basically the daughter of the 25-year-old now. So yeah, after grandma, got old and went her way or still around, things fell off. Things started falling off the wagon. So in 1960, American women were likely to be among the longest living females in the world. American women. Let me repeat this shit for the slow class. In 1960, American women were likely to be among the longest living females in the world. But that trend reversed itself in the 1980s when I was fucking born. And today, their life expectancy lags 2.5 years behind women in other developed nations. Okay. So, yeah, it's a bunch of other stuff. Let me put this article in the chat. I'm gonna be fucking late for work for this shit. I don't give a fuck. Basically, this is gonna be, pretty much said and done. All right. So basically, we got death. You listen, all of this advice is causing you to fucking die, basically. I could literally end it right there, but we gonna go further. Okay. So, secondly, right, we got a problem with safety. Men deter other men. Let me repeat that shit for the slow class. Men deter other men. Okay? A lot of times with men that are thinking about doing a burglary, a robbery, a rape, or a murder, they are deterred by other men. If you don't have a man, I don't even give a fuck if you're married, to be honest with you. You don't have a man around you, okay? Basically, you are at risk of a violent crime happening. This is why a fucking hoe has a pimp, or used to have pimps. They still have them, but this is why. Very basic. Very fucking basic. Okay? Share this article here. At the very least, you should know how to use a gun. At the very least. All right. So this article here, let's read this. This is from basically Home Security and Personal Safety Resources Guide for Single Women. Okay, this is from 2021. Put this in the chat here for reference. All right. So, Home Security and Personal Safety Resource Guide for Single Women. Women, especially single, unmarried, or divorced women, are disproportionately affected by stalking as well as violent and serious crimes, making women who live alone more at risk within their own homes. In fact, out of every 1,000 people, 21.1% of women experienced a violent crime, while 8.1 women experienced a serious violent crime. Okay, serious is fucking, like I said, rape, murder, or attempted murder, battery, very, very violent, right? The most targeted age group are women ages 18 through 24 years old for both violent crimes and serious violent crimes. While marital status does seem to play a role in the average occurrence of the violent crime, it says basically that has something to do with it. It is most likely due to the fact that women who are married seem to have more access to home security systems in safe neighborhoods.
Message.
I can't make this fucking shit up, man. Even if I tried. Interestingly enough, household income seems to be an important factor when analyzing the occurrence of attacks and violent crime. Statistics show that low-income households are at an increased risk of violent crime. Most of these crimes are perpetrated by people the victims knows or has known in the past. So yeah, I mean, I see that quite a bit. Like, I know people that actually I used to work at Chicago Public Schools, and it was women that I knew they made more money than me, but they lived in some of the sketchiest neighborhoods you ever known to man. I remember one chick, I was coming to sell her a computer because basically, I mean, that was what I did. You know, I was a computer teacher, and I also had my side business at the time. And I remember driving over to where her apartment building was, and this woman was basically she was an administrator basically for the school. And I was thinking, why the fuck does she live over here? And I had to basically go through these, like, basically a game set. It was just a bunch of dudes hanging out, and they were asking me all these questions like, where am I from and who am I and all that shit. And then she came outside, and I'm like, oh, this broad like hood niggas and just want to live around who she like. Because here's the thing. This is why you know, basically the women that, you know, it don't matter how much money they make, women stay around who they like. They are comfortable around who they like. You know, they like, if a chick went to fucking, it don't matter where she went, school wise, don't matter what kind of job she got, she gonna live around what she's comfortable with. And the woman also had children. So because she like hood dick, she basically she's putting her children in harm's way because she like hood dick, and basically subjecting them to whatever problems and stuff they have. Because see, a lot of times this is what I find out. This is just like kind of hood shit. This is like ghetto black communities type stuff. I find that a lot of times these women that, you know, live in these neighborhoods, they think that because a lot of times the hood dudes, the thugs, they'll give the woman a pass, and the women will think, because it goes into delusion, right? They'll think, oh, I got a hood pass. I'm one of the chicks. I'm cool. You know, they like me. I get a hood pass. But meanwhile, your children don't get a hood pass. Your brother that comes into the neighborhood don't get a hood pass. So your brother come around, and then next thing you know, worst case scenario, he gets shot up and he's dead because you wanted to live around the hood dudes that you liked, and your brother didn't get a hood pass. And the only reason why hood dudes give women a pass, you know, Alonzo probably, if he's listening, he could testify against this. they not they that's the basically set pussy. That's anything on a gang set is open is basically their booty, like war booty. These are the gang modern day thugs, gangbangers are warlords. Ain't no different than Al Qaeda or Al Shabaab or any warlords that you will see in basically a third world country. Basically, they're not gonna bother the women that they basically running trains on and stuff like that. So I mean, I have to get graphic, to really put things in perspective. But yeah, as it further reads, it says stalking in particular is one of the most common crimes reported against single women. Since most stalking victims are also victims of domestic violence and abuse, stalking is the abuser's way of holding power and control over the victim's life. Now, here's the thing. Because society is so chaotic, it's so rough, I understand it's women that have already made peace and already know I ain't shit. I really ain't gonna never be shit. I've already made peace to my ain't shit lifestyle. Here's the thing. That's fine and dandy, but what I'm talking about is basically, for those that haven't made that decision, uh, maybe kind of clueless, I'm trying to put things in perspective. It is women that they know. I see these women every day. I see it on their face. It's the I ain't shit face. I know these women have already made peace that they are, basically Pookie's war brides, and they made peace with it and they love it in many cases, right? I mean, I'm not necessarily talking to these women. These women already know they've made their peace, being, Thuggo's war bride, and they love, living all around Thuggo. They'll make $100,000 a year and still live around Thuggo and with children. So yeah, this is not necessarily, I understand that part of the game. It is a lot of times I'll even say it's just women that actually just want to be losers, because it's very, very easy to just be a loser. You don't really have to try that hard. It's just like men. The men to be losers, you really don't have to try that hard. You just keep losing. So yeah, that's that. Yeah. Hand peak waving, bro. We ran 9 cars. Oh yeah, man. That's why she gets a pass in the hood, and she thinks that's respectful. But she's just the booty of the set, the booty nation. In Chicago they call them nation hoes. That's what they call them. In the hood, call them nation hoes. So yeah. Let me share this other. This will be the last slide. And this is here. Yep, this is here. So this is women in poverty in America. Okay. This is not the last one. This is one more after this one. So 70% of the nation's poor are women and children. Women in America are still 35% more likely than men to be poor in America, with single mothers facing the highest risk. Now, is pretty much they're not saying that it's just all single mothers they have the highest risk, but it's just women in general, just by themselves. Currently, 35% of single women with children live and raise their families in poverty. Okay, I mean, one of the reasons why this is basically you. I've said this from a few different live streams in years passing. You have to play poor to get subsidies. Now, some people are not necessarily playing poor; they actually are poor. What I mean by you have to play poor is people already know where I'm going with this. You have to pretend. I just lost somebody that was watching me that was probably playing poor. I lost an eyeball, so I was talking to somebody. I've just busted somebody's game. All I can say is, yeah, just stay humble. I'm not ragging on nobody. I'm just saying, basically, I'm stating the facts. But here's the thing: you have to have an income below the poverty line or really close to it in order to get food stamps, Section 8, any type of government subsidy. So what a lot of times what women will do is they'll do hair, they'll have a proxy daycare business at their apartment or whatever. They'll have, basically make money under the table, and then all the while getting, government subsidies. So on paper they're in poverty, but actually all the while they'll make like $50,000 a year doing eyelashes, you know. So I mean, it's really not that many people that are really really poor. It's just a statistic, you know. System D, a lot of times, it's women do all kind of things, for money, so yeah, it's statistics wise, yeah, it's a lot of women that's single on poverty. That's also how they get child support. So another thing, the child support warriors out there paying these child support checks. If you know your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend or your chick gave some seed money to after the club one night, if she's basically stating to the court that she makes the lowest amount, and you absolutely know that she makes money outside of basically her stated income, you can file for a motion to, I'm not a lawyer, but I believe you could file a motion. You want to look into this, you could file a motion to restate earnings because she does other financial activities such as doing hair, having a daycare and stuff like that. I know a lot of dudes just be like, you know what, fuck it. I gotta pay, I got raked over the coals. I gotta pay this bread, and that's it. I ain't trying to, she women already try to alienate your children by proxy of you trying to rat them out. They'll probably, they'll do certain strategies to try to chess moves to make it hard for you to see your children. So I know a lot of dudes don't probably want to seek that route, but you can definitely, once you find out they are making money, they got a page. You find a page where they do, all of their hairstyles and shit like that. You can absolutely show that as evidence. And the judge can do certain tactics like, I need a bank statement, or I need or I'll just state the average amount of what a cosmetologist makes or hairdresser makes and add that to the income statement as far as the stated income. So yeah, that's a lot of other stuff, but basically that's why that poverty rate is so low, that it's some of those women are just basically stating that income, but they do other things. Women themselves are, to be honest, this kind of go it not necessarily goes there, but women are money makers. Women will make you money, like, because the women themselves, that's why a lot of times women make a good amount. They don't really have to even try a lot of times. A woman with a nice rack can just come on YouTube with a halter tap and get views. So it's like it's a lot of ways women make money, So yeah, it's very difficult to, I would say, in most cases, to just basically fall by the wayside. But a lot of women actually do that. But I understand, but I don't understand at the same time. But it's another slide here that I want to show, and this is kind of not a slide, but it's just a statistic that I've already stated before. This is the final statistic that is just showing you why you get sent off, what you get sent off about, and why this is really really bad. So this is the rising incarceration rates amongst women in America. Okay, remember I said from 1960 to 1980. Between 1980 and 2021, the number of incarcerated women increased by more than 525%, rising from a total of 26,326 in 1980 to 168,449 in 2021. So I mean, basically, yeah, these women are sending you off. They're sending you off to slaughter. Okay, absolutely sending you off to slaughter. And I mean, this some SBE shit, but it is what it is. I mean, I just want this content for my, what I'm saying, for anybody, like, like I got daughters, like I said, I got daughters in this fight, what I'm saying, and I don't want them getting sent off, you know. So I mean, it is what it is. But on that note, pretty much I'm gonna leave you with a couple things as far as inspiration. You know, uh, this here is a picture of the Holy Trinity. Is what we follow, what we followed thousands of years ago. Let's see here. This is Asor, Aset, and Haru. This is the original Holy Trinity, the man, woman, child. This is thousands and thousands of years ago. So anybody, this is solid gold. One of the things I have to say just briefly is that history, if you understand history, you're already a bougie black man or woman. If you understand history, your history, our history is very very high class. Okay, this is solid gold. Okay, this is the original Holy Trinity right here: man, woman, and child. Anybody trying to tell you anything different is telling you poverty, being a savage in a hut with no basically living in the projects in suffrage. This is the Holy Trinity right here. Okay, this is what everybody copied and whatnot, and this is why people that are following this Holy Trinity are winning, and people that are not are struggling. Okay, and even if they try to tell you they're by themselves and basically they're winning, they're lying to you. And I could see them. I was gonna play some video of some like women that was actually, kind of telling all kind of bullshit. But I was like, you know what? I ain't got time for that shit, and I'm not about to do it. I'm just gonna put the facts out here, and I'm gonna say it like I say it, like I did my other chess philosophy videos. But this right here is the Holy Trinity right here. Okay, so this is basically this is a painting of Queen Nefertiti playing the game of chess. This is 1320 to 1200 BCE. Okay, this ain't no fucking game. Okay, I take this shit serious. Okay, when I'm seeing people getting sent the fuck off, you know, it's a call to action for me. You know, I just wanna put my 2 cents in, and also, you know, provide some quality content. You know, it is what it is, you know. So I mean, hey, if you want poverty, you wanna, you know what I'm saying, a path to be a loser, you know, go ahead. Go ahead and be that loser. I just don't tell me that, don't come to me and say I ain't told you so. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just don't tell me I told you so.
Winning for me is having a family. Winning for me, I ain't having no millions of females, cause I ain't going. Burke and who? You got fake eyelashes, you got fake hair, you got fake everything on your body, but you want a real nigga. Like, I worked hard for these results. I suffered. I went through the fire. Adversity builds character. I went through the fire for this.